What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Submission Fishing live show. Back again, another Thursday. Hope everybody's doing good out there. My name is your host. I guess my name is Muto. I'm your host. You think I'd be drinking, but that's Kevin. He's the one hitting the sauce. We have Kevin Nakada on tonight with us. He's going to join us, give us an update, see what he's been up to. I know it's been a couple of weeks since he's been on. For those of you guys that don't know Kevin, he's owner of Fishing Reps, and he basically reps products, and he's a hell of a fisherman. He used to work for Hobie, used to do tour service, so he's been all over the place. So hopefully everybody's good. And if you have any questions, obviously hit us up. We'll answer them the best we can. And yeah, we'll just have a nice chill hour of fishing. So let's get it started. Graham, what's going on, man? Sammy Oos, what's up? Leonard, good to see you. Stephen Gage, what's going on, man? Captain Dan, what's going on? Heading to Florida next weekend, Daytona Beach. Hey, that's not too far from Jacksonville, actually. You're maybe 2 hours south, maybe further. I'd have to check it out. But what are you doing? Some motocross stuff? What's going on, guys, on Instagram? If you want to follow us, we're going to be on YouTube. We got Kevin Nakada on, so come join us on YouTube if you want to join. Without further ado, the myth, the man, the legend. Kevin, what's going on, dude?
What up?
How you been?
Man, I've been just doing really good, really good. Yep.
Yeah.
It's been
What have
awesome.
you been up to since last time we've been on here? The little trade show action or what?
Well, last time, I mean, you have been fishing more than me at this point, and you've been doing a lot more offshore, which has been badass, and catching some serious hogs on the slow pitch jigs, the 80-gram macaroni. What's up? And the rainbow roll.
80 grams been the money, dude.
Yeah, those things are seriously like, if people aren't using that 80-gram ogre more, they're missing out on just that really good slow fall to fast fall, like fast jig, light jig, not something hard to work. That jig is just great. It's so good. But man, I was at the Houston Fishing Show last week selling and slinging a bunch of product, and specifically Bates Fishing Company reels. And we blew it away, man. We sold 150 reels through dealers at that show, through 8 dealers, and it was,
man, that's crazy.
Seriously, at least that much. I mean, it was probably more at the end of the show, but it was a lot of reels. That was just us refilling stores. So they started out with inventory, and then they were completely wiped and relied on us to fill them, and we just kept them topped off. So we sold a lot of reels.
Awesome. What's up, guys, on Instagram?
Yeah.
Jack says, just picked up some of your jigs at the Bart Hall show. Excited to try them out. Oh, awesome, dude. Where'd you find them? Which booth had them?
Island Tackle.
Island Tackle? Yeah. I know Bob Sands had some too. They were.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. If you guys want to join us, we're going to be on YouTube. So just letting you guys know we're going live. But yeah, man, I appreciate that. I look forward to seeing the fish. I mean, that's really what it's all about.
So, that ogre, man. I can't wait till PCS too. PCS is coming up really quick. It's like, what, 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, it's pretty quick. Now we're just scrambling to get everything done. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have the new 200 and 300s there for people to see at the Tackle Express booth.
Yep. And we're going to be doing, as we're going to announce something, but we're going to be doing, be rigging up stuff for people that buy, you know, the jigs. If you buy 200, 300, or even the bigger stuff, you buy any like the big stuff, we're going to rig them up for you for free if you come by the booth. So we've got the Kraken hooks we'll be putting on them. They got stainless steel cables inside, super heavy duty. Me and Kevin fished them a lot last year, pretty much all last year, and we had good success with them. So if you guys buy one of those big jigs from like Tackle Express, they're pretty much going to be our supplier. We put in a big order with them, so that way I don't have to bring that much stuff. Of course, we'll have a booth, but yeah, go buy your stuff at Tackle Express, and if you get a big jig, bring it by the booth, and we'll rig it up for you. Give you some free hooks and rings and everything.
And we're right next to each other. I mean, we're 50 feet apart, so like Tackle Express and Submission. So just come and bring them right over the booth. I'll be stopped at the booth too and helping out Muto. So hanging out with you guys. So looking forward to that. Definitely.
Yeah. Jack says, oh, he's pretty sure you got him at Island Tackle. Yeah, that makes sense.
There you go.
We just sent them an order too, so I think that should have more stuff. That's cool.
More and more. Yep.
Gonna say some
yeah,
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
for sure you will. Those are where it's at. Cast and retrieve those too. You don't always have to go vertical. If you're fishing, I do a lot of cast and retrieve for calicos and have a lot of success. Well, you just fish outside the kelp and just cast them out there and let them flutter like along the ways and do a little cast and retrieve. Um, Calicos like to chase. They're not. You don't always have to get them on the vertical jig. So try that a little bit. Work the jig towards you, and you'd be surprised how many bites you'll get on the retrieve.
Definitely. Yeah. One of my favorite jigs is that 60 gram and 40 gram assassin. You turned me on to those things. I talked a lot of trash to you about that jig at the beginning. Remember that?
Yeah, they're great. They're just like you just got to know when to use them. But like patty, even rockfish, if you're shallow rock fishing, patties, and then out here in Florida, they're a different game. It's like they were like made for Florida almost. It's crazy. But yellowtail, they're good
Yeah.
with. Remember when we went on the first submission at sea? Jeff, he caught I think two yellowtails on the 60 gram. And
Yep.
nobody else was fishing the 60 gram. He got one vertical jig and then one casting, and he was like on the live
Natural
bait
bait.
color. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
I remember.
yeah. I've always used them. I've always been with them, but yeah, you just got to know the application.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those jigs where, if you pick it up and you fish it, you're just going to be in love with it when you start catching. And if you don't catch with it, you just got to stick with it. Eventually, you're going to catch. I would really like to see a sardine color, by the way, one day in the assassin.
We could probably do that. We'll make it happen.
That would be really cool. You already got the macaroni down. I think the mackerel color on the 80 gram is just so legit. Like that's the perfect size for it and everything and the profile. The 200 is like when people see that jig for the first time at PCS, because I'm sure they haven't seen it yet. Dude, it's so good. Like a
When
daytime
you see it in
jig
person, yeah,
for a daytime bluefin jig, I wouldn't be surprised if that took like a lot of people's tackle space next year. The 2 and 300 size ogre for daytime. It is pretty legit. Yeah. I really like that color. I think you did a great job. But yeah, if you did a sardine in assassin, even an 80 gram assassin one
it
day,
would be pretty sick. Yeah, yeah. We toyed
just
around with
saying.
the idea, like an 80 gram, but you can only do so many sizes. Corey
Yeah.
King, what's up, man? Good to see you. Iron Fish, I'll be there Saturday at the PCS. Awesome. OC Ranger, what's going on, man? Not much. Just chilling. Jeremy, what's going on, man? Ooh, glad you could join us. Corey King says 200 is fire. What's going on, guys, on Instagram? We're on YouTube if you want to join us. Kevin's on. We'll be signing off pretty soon just to have some fishing chat. Yeah, so so Texas was good.
Yeah, there's a lot
You
of
didn't get to fish though, huh?
there's a store out there called Check and Bottom, and they're an offshore, inshore. They kind of do everything. And Check and Bottom Outfitters or something. Anyways, they're a tackle shop, and they do a lot of swordfish fishing and fishing on rigs way out and off the Gulf in Texas. And they do like yellowfin tuna, Warsaw grouper, swordfish. They are so freaking fishy. Like I could talk to the owner. The owner is Russell Haas and his son Tyler, and I could literally talk to them and their social media guy Nick. I could talk to them for like days, dude. They were so sick. Like they know fishing. Like we know fishing in SoCal quite a bit, right? We know what we're talking about, and like that's
Right.
a hard fishery. Man, these guys are like very dialed in on that Gulf fishing, like extremely, like just like a lot of the guys are on the West Coast trying to figure out swords. Like imagine you had 20 years worth of time to figure out daytime swordfish fishing. It's those guys. Like they've spent a lot of time fishing those fish.
It seems
I
like
think since
swordfish guys like only fish swordfish. Is that just
no,
me, or
no,
it's like they seem like they're like this exclusive club that like that's
no,
like what they target?
no,
It seems daunting.
no,
Like
that's
it
not
seems
true.
what's the word I'm looking for? It's like it's like intimidating to me a little bit. Like just thinking about it is like it seems like a lot of patience, a lot of work, a lot of
It's
money.
a lot of patience. Yeah, it's a lot of thought. You have to know like what you're thinking about as a fish. Like you're going after, in the Pacific, in San Diego or Southern California, you're really going after like one bite, two bites a day. But in the Gulf, you're getting like 7 bites in a day. So it's different, it's not the same. It's a different size fish too. Like a 400 pounder is like a giant one in the Gulf, and like a 400 pounder in California is like, it's honestly like there should be at least a couple of those a year.
Right.
So I mean, I think it was a 570 caught this year. Like that's the state record now. That's a giant fish, and it took them 7.5 hours to reel in. The guys from Brothers, Ezekiel, Cruz, Dylan, and I think there's one more person I can't remember. My bad. But they all like basically shared that record. It's pretty incredible.
Kiwi said he
Crazy.
lives. He says Outfitters is 5 minutes away from his house. Yeah, he's lives in Texas. Did you go to the
Ooh.
show, Kiwi? Kiwi reacts.
Oh, no way. He probably did go to the
Yeah.
Houston Fishing Show. Dude, check in bottom, please just subliminally ask them to bring in submission. I really like those guys. I'd love to work with them. I'm already like trying to get in that store more. Like they're so cool. Those guys are legit. I'm not kidding. Like if I had to pick a store that I really enjoyed, like I liked all the guys from Houston, but those guys just they reminded me of the hardcore like commercial guys that
Right.
just don't talk very much. Like they just have their secrets. They know what they're talking about, but they don't like talk about it a lot unless you get what they're talking
Right.
about, and then they'll just blow up and never stop talking.
Kiwi
Um,
said he went. He went to the show.
really? Did you not
Yeah.
see us at the Bates booth? I was there. I might have been walking
Oh, he
around.
did. He
Dude,
did
I
say it. He
was
said he
there.
did. What's going on, guys? Instagram. I'm going to sign off in a few minutes. Come join us on YouTube if you want. Oshi Fish Slayer says 20-gram sumo was bit today. Solid fish. Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for the support. I want to see the fish. Tag us in some pictures, man. But yeah, party's still going over on YouTube. So join us there. All right, guys. Later.
Next year, you have to be there at that show, Mutel. It's so good. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm down to go. Need to do
But
some
yeah,
more shows.
there's just so much fishing out there in the country. Like there's so many different kinds of people. You start to realize as you start to go and travel around, and it's not something I'm not used to, traveling for work and for the fishing industry. But when you start talking to individuals and you like share that passion about fishing, you start to learn how much there is out there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, busy. It's been busy. It's been a very busy time. Before that, secretly, your sister and we slid out to Japan, which was interesting. Very interesting. No one really knows that we were both out there, just
Yeah. You
kind
didn't
of
make any
went off
posts or
grid.
anything. Did you visit
No,
any
yeah, I
tackle
mean,
stores out there or anything?
no, I didn't see any tackle stores.
Oh, interesting.
I was there just. I mean, I didn't even seek out that stuff. Honestly, I thought there would be more fishing stuff, but there was no fishing stuff in Tokyo. Like there wasn't a lot of. At least I didn't see it. There wasn't very many like fishing related things around the city. We went to. Uh, oh, where did we go? Uh,
Ringo.
anyways. No, we didn't go there. That's like at the very bottom, dude. That would have been crazy. We went to oh man, starts with a Y. I want to say like it's not Yamaguchi. Anyways, it'll
Osaka
come
was
to
so
me.
good.
Anyways, went down there. We saw one guy fishing. I saw one guy fishing the whole time in the bay, and like he didn't catch anything, dude. It was so cold. It was so cold. Um, I think that people that fish over there, they're really hardcore, and there's not probably many of regular anglers out there. So I think the community is super tight, like over here. Um, like when you know a fisherman, you recognize what they're wearing. It's kind of like that, right? Like,
Right.
oh yeah, I know what you like. I know you're a bass guy. I know you're a sword guy. I know you're a tuna guy. Like, by just what their apparel is, typically, what they're into.
Right.
So
Right. I
similar
think that's
vibe, I
probably like,
think.
remember we talked about, it's probably why the Japanese stuff is so good because it's like they have such
So
limited
hard.
time to fish. Like it's got to work. Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Oh, I feel it over there. I feel like there's a lot of people. I don't think I think that I was in the wrong place to see what really like fishermen are
Yeah,
like in Japan.
yeah,
Um, but like if I'm sure if you went to like a place where you go to, like you said, Okinawa, like that would be really interesting. What that's like over there. I bet you fishing is totally a part of their way of life, right? And it's like everyone's fishing, like Florida, right? Florida,
yeah.
everyone fishes. It's like 50% of the population here has a fishing rod and a license. So, like California, I would say we're probably less than like 5% of the population, maybe even less than
Yeah,
that.
like the California community is like much more tight. It's like if somebody fishes in California, it's like you know them, right? Or you know who
Yeah,
they are, or it's a
right.
very, very, very small group. It seems large, but it's really not that large. Where like
Yeah.
Florida, it's just like every
Everyone
person that's
fishes.
like I have a bunch of contractors in my house. Every single one that comes through fishes. Every
Yeah.
single one. Like it's not like some thing where you're like, "Oh, you're an angler." It's like, yeah, they're like, of course we fish
Yeah.
out here."
Yeah. Oh, you don't. If you don't fish in Florida, you're kind of on the outside of it. Right? Honestly,
Yeah,
you're like
I
out
think
of the loop
so.
a bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It is definitely different. Where California, it's like definitely a tighter knit group. I think they have to be because it's not as fisher friendly either. It's like Californians got to
Yeah.
stick together.
You have to stick
But
together. You have to
it
be
is
together.
harder. Fishing in California is, I think, harder than fishing in Florida too.
Oh,
I
I
have
mean,
some,
if your videos haven't proven that,
yeah.
come on, dude. Like it's crazy. You go out there and it's every drop. I mean, ridiculous.
I've said that
People
to
wish it was
like,
like that in Cali.
and that's like controversial statement, right? But it's like if you're a good angler in California, you'll come crush it in Florida. Like bottom line, I feel like people, if you came from Florida and went to fish California, I think you'd have a rough time. Just the
That's a big
styles, the
statement.
techniques, and just the abundance of fish here, and just the live bait and everything. Going out to California fishing artificials for trying to find the fish, it's a lot tougher.
I think that it really depends on the skill set because I don't think everyone is going to get Florida fishing off the bat, and it takes time to acclimate. And like I think a lot of guys that know how to do spotted bait bass fishing are going to understand redfish pretty right away. Like it's not going to be a question, right? I think and speckled trout, and probably flounder too. But I think that if the person is not a spotty is a spotty fisherman and not an offshore fisherman, going out here, I don't think you're going to get offshore fishing even if you move to Florida, right? I think you're still going to have a learning curve trying to do that. But if you're an offshore angler in Cali and you come over to Florida, you're going to be like, this is the dumbest fishing I've done in my life. Like
Yeah,
it's so
yeah,
wide open.
it's so
So
much easier.
because
Also, because
honestly, Muto,
it's not like seasonal either. Like in California, you had limited windows where you can fish. Like the fish just aren't around all the time. I've gone out every single time offshore in Florida, and it's just been like every single drop,
yeah.
pelagics and stuff. It's crazy.
Now I'm not going to say that California doesn't have amazing fishing. Like there's the craziest place right now for tuna fishing, bluefin tuna fishing in the world is
Oh
California,
yeah, yeah.
hands
We've
down,
talked about that. Like you can't touch that. Like there's nothing
hands down.
you can't really replicate that in Florida because they just don't. It's like more fish. I think the amberjacks fight harder than the yellowtail, and is more on average. But there's no bluefin, and that in and of itself is like just California gets that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't
It's
replicate
different.
that, and you can't take that
Yeah,
away. That's why people
yeah,
people from Florida go to San Diego to fish bluefin
yeah.
all the time.
It's a worthy fishery. I mean,
Oh, dude, totally.
it has so much there. I mean, we grew up in it, and did it. But when you come out here, legitimately, it's like you don't even have to really try. Does that make any sense? Like you don't. I like that, by the way.
Oh yeah, somebody
Um,
was commenting on the cup. You know, who made that was OC Ranger. Uh, Benji Moreno's wife actually made these for us. Should hit her
that's
up.
it. How
He said
many?
there's a
How
few new
many?
harbors here in California for residents to pay for all the structure removed to keep the anglers out of the harbors. Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
crazy. It's true though.
You believe that? Like, what do they do? Like, get rid of like the pylons and stuff, and just have like floating docks?
What's the example there? Is it Newport? What are they talking about?
Yeah, I'm not
Give
sure.
us an example. I want to know what they're talking about.
As long as there's docks, they can be fished, right? Like, I feel like you can't get away from that.
If
He says
anything, they removed
he says
shoreline
they
access more
dredge
than
the
anything.
bottom. He says they dredge the bottoms. I think they do that
Oh,
most places.
yeah.
Even
I
like
mean,
at Carlsbad, they do.
the dredging is for navigation. I think more than anything. I don't think it's to
Yeah,
remove structure. I mean, it probably does that in addition, you know. So,
the
but they
dredging
also
does
create
usually
structure
ruin.
by doing that. So they also are creating the jetties to be able
Yeah,
to, and
to
that
make that
those
drop off.
jetties hold a lot of fish, and they are hard to get out. You know, so
I
if
haven't had too
anything, I
much luck.
think
I
they're.
haven't had too much luck on the jetties, to be honest with you. I know they're
Oh,
there and people have had like really great days. I've fished them a lot, but I don't know. I haven't had too much success. I mean, I've caught fish there, but I haven't really like seen it pop off, But I've heard
well,
the
the
jetties can be good.
breakwall is a great example of just a huge jetty system, right?
Sure.
It's. I mean, that fishery has literally all been altered because of that breakwall being put in place. If the breakwall was never there, I don't think you'd get the sand bass and calico bass fishery they have up there in that kind of concentration. I mean, you
In
can get
Long
it up
Beach.
at Palos Verdes, but it's
Right.
not like, dude, that place is putting out some crazy fish. So, but
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's just like an artificial reef, basically.
yeah, it's a
OC Ranger
giant
says
artificial reef.
Ventura Harbor.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. They've definitely screwed around with that one.
Yeah, San Diego and Newport are fire for harbor fishing. Yeah.
Ventura, though, is like not even a huge harbor. No offense, it's kind of a tiny little spot. I don't even know if there's that many spotties up there anymore. Could be
I've
wrong.
never fished it.
It's tiny. It's a really small little spot. It's cool though. Like I'm sure if there is spotties, they're very like they're probably fished a lot, but there's probably more halibut in that harbor.
Well, we
Um,
got the Spotty Bowl coming up this weekend. I think the LA Spotty Bowl is this
that's
weekend. Just
cool.
remember, guys, um, the submission fishing has a side pot, so don't forget about that. $20 gift card every round. So catch one on the submission jigs, post it up. Longest fish on the submission, easy money. So don't
Yep.
forget that. Good luck to all you guys. You competed in the Spotty Bowl too, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I only did it 1 year, but I finished second in
Short
the
division,
short
right?
division. I got beat by
Yeah.
Brian, and I was seventh in the uh, boat the kayak division. So I think who did I lose? I didn't show up to one tournament and I lost. I was just under Dino, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, Dino beat me out. But yeah, that was so much fun, and that was like the second year of it. So I feel like now it's like really full speed. Um, I miss it, man. I miss fishing Spotty Bowl. I really do.
It's a totally different animal. I mean, like when I did it in 2001, there was no divisions. It was just like everybody fished against everybody. It was like still though, it was like 40 something anglers, you know, all in
Yeah.
one. It was crazy. And it was like two seasons. There was one season and then you fished and like the top like six from that season. And then there was a second season and the top six from the second season. Then they played in the playoffs. So it was a little bit different. It
How
was a
many events was that?
lot more rounds. It was like almost every weekend. It was crazy.
Was it
They
16 or something?
16 what?
Rounds. Like, wasn't it like
It
16
was
rounds
yeah,
or
it was a
something?
lot, dude. It was a lot. And I think that's why they split it. Like you only had to I think it was. So there was the
It's whack,
first eight
dude.
and then the back eight. I didn't even compete in the first eight. I competed in the back eight. And then I was the first seed in the back eight and had the bye. And then I lost in the first round of the playoffs. But
That's
June, dude, I
tough.
was on fire. June, I was on fire.
That's a very tough. That's definitely a very tough set of series events, man. 16 events is crazy in a year. There's just not a way to do that ever without having literally no life or no family, you know?
Yeah, I think
So,
that's why they scaled it back quite a bit, make it a little more
yeah.
reasonable. Now it's like once a month. It seems like something that's much more manageable. But yeah, it used to be crazy, man. It was a true Iron Man test for
It
sure.
it was great. It was great. I mean, it really
Yeah,
helped launch a lot of those people that like Salty and you and Brian and man, just so many Eric as far as a judge being able to do that, like
yeah.
all these people that just came out of the woodworks that were just there he
Brian
is,
says, somebody
the
say
man
Spotty, he must
himself,
have
the
heard us.
3-time champion.
He heard it. That's funny. Yeah, he said it was 16 rounds, 4 playoff rounds. Yeah, and they were 16 hours long. I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. It was from 8 or no, it was like from 6 a.m. to like 6 p.m. It was ridiculous. It was
that
absurd.
that's way too much.
And it's only
Seriously.
and it's only absurd because we would fish it the entire time. Nobody went in early. I'd be there at 6 and I would fish until like the end. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they
You guys are
shortened the
crazy.
rounds. Yeah, they shortened the rounds and then they did the thing. But it was funny
One
because
of
I
my
didn't when we talk about Spotty Bowl, it was like I didn't do um the very first leg and I didn't really plan on joining. And then submission fishing was just getting off the ground and the jigs, and I was like, my thought process was I was like, well, I was just starting my YouTube thing too. So I was like, I gotta join because I have to prove to people that I can fish, right? Like that was my whole kind of genesis for joining the second round was like I've got to get some sort of street cred and like prove to people that like you know how to fish. And that was like really pretty much why I joined the second thing. I got a lot of good content out of it, and luckily I was able to win, a couple tournaments and biggest fish and angler of the month. I got pretty lucky and I did pretty well. But the whole reason I did it was so like I need some sort of street cred, and you can get that from Spotty Bowl. It's like you can win that. It's like it's not easy any given
it's
time
not easy.
to go beat 40 plus people
No,
in
not.
any
It's
tournament.
93 this year, dude.
Yeah, but
93
when
are
we did
entered.
it, but they have divisions. When we did it, it was like 41 or 45 people all competed against each other. Now they have like the divisions, the masters, the pro. But
Yeah.
no matter what division you're in, just to beat a field of people, even just to get like first place in some of those legs, like it's not an easy task.
Yeah.
So when you guys win those,
Especially
it's like it's a big thing.
especially when some of the averages for those tournaments are like 15 to 16 inches for their stringer, like for 5 fish. You're like, who are these people? Like, how do you even catch that kind of fish within a day like that consistently? And then you throw in a 17-inch like kicker or even an 18-inch, you're like, who are you? Who are you
Yeah.
guys? Like, where did you
Especially
come
now,
from?
the bags are like bigger and the time limit is like shorter. That's what's crazier. It's nuts. These guys are good. They're
Yeah.
getting good. And every year they get, I think that's the thing. It's like the sport, right? Like, mixed martial arts. When you watch like old MMA, it's like it was a totally different world. And even jujitsu. And then like the sport evolves and the people just get so much better. And then it's like not even the same thing anymore. The guys just, they're so good and so precise and got it down to such a science. It's like totally different game than when it first started. It's crazy.
It is
It's cool
crazy.
to see though.
It's evolved quite a bit. Definitely has evolved. It's really great to see. I mean, the spotty community was just way small. It was not the attention of the industry, and from a standpoint of like business, and from a standpoint of California stores being involved, Spotties keep stores and industry people alive in that area from like November through March, even April, because nothing else is really going on. There might
Yeah.
be some bass heads that are out there, like freshwater guys, but honestly, there really isn't much going on. And so, if you can have a tournament series going on in the winter, and you guys have people going out and buying lures through the winter, a lot of those tackle shops are literally living off of people from spotty fishing, and it's
Just
great
so
to see.
accessible. Yeah, because you could always just hop down to the harbor and
Yeah.
paddle around some docks, and especially like in SoCal, it's mostly a lot of them are blocked off and sheltered. There's good jetties, and break walls, so it's pretty manageable. You can go out on kind of a crappy day, and it doesn't affect you too much.
Or
Like being
shore pound.
offshore. Yeah,
Yeah, just shore pound. Like it's
yeah,
so easy. You
that's
can
true.
go after work and go from downtown San Diego and hop to Mission Bay or San Diego Bay, and I mean you're 10 minutes away and you're fishing. Lunch breaks, whatever. Don't you have a
Yeah.
guy, John, who fishes off of his work dock?
Sammy says
That's
the
pretty
Newport
sick.
Melton's one day tournament brought almost 80, 90 anglers. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's
That's a
cool.
lot of
Yeah,
people.
John, he used to fish. I don't think he works at like the harbor or like he got moved to an office desk or something. But yeah, he'd fish off like the Dole. You guys all know like off of Tidelands where the Dole containers always are. I think he worked over there, and yeah, at lunch he would just cast right there, right off his little the loading docks, and he'd catch spotties all the time,
Man, I
casting the
bet those
trees.
things are so loaded.
Yeah. Doc Stalker said, was your second time the time you dropped your phone? Yeah, I think so. Everybody loves the phone drop. You want to know what's funny? I think I took first place that time, even though I dropped my phone. But the thing was, I had a spare phone, which I call my fish phone. It's like the backup phone, and but I dropped my main phone. But the thing was, I had like 3 fish already in the day on that other phone, so I had 3 fish. I lost my phone, so now it's like an hour and a half in. I had to go recatch all the fish, but they were like all upgrades, so it ended up working pretty well. But if I didn't have another phone, I'd have been done. There's nothing I could have done. I would have just had to go home and call it a
Lick
day.
your wounds. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I ended up winning that round. I think I got first place after I dropped my phone. I was able to stick with it with the backup phone I had. It was crazy. You just can't write that
Everyone
stuff, man. That's just like,
everyone should tether their phone. Lesson learned, man. I have so
yeah,
many stories about lost phones too. I'm glad at least you won yours.
yeah. And then later that year, I lost a phone. It just fell out of my pocket. I was out with Fish Perfect, and it was in my pocket, and I leaned against the side of the boat, and it like pushed my phone out of the pocket and it fell in the water. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" This is crazy. Yeah, that sucks. Brian says, "Dropped a phone this year, $1,000." Yeah, man. You gotta have.
Oh,
If you're an angler, you have to have insurance on your phone. Like that's not even a.
hey Brian, was that
That's
an
not even
iPhone
like
or
an
was it the
option.
Pixel? Was that the iPhone or the Pixel you just bought?
This is the first one he dropped.
Oh, dude,
Doug Rubin says, "Mikey, I got 2 nice home guard yellowtails in La Jolla the other day. Check out the video." Oh, Mikey did. Check out his video on YouTube. Hell yeah, man.
that's
That's
sick.
Mikey. What's his channel? SD Fish and Chips. I think
Oh
that's what he's
yeah,
talking about.
yep, dope.
Yeah, tethered and waterproof. Oh, he had the Pixel 8 Pro.
Oh no, that's like literally a new phone of his, and I got him into buying that phone. I can't believe you lost it already.
What a
It probably
tragedy.
was 2 months to 3 months old. Poor thing, Brian. Of all people who should know what happens with phones on the waters, it's you. You've heard too many damn stories.
He said it was the first one he lost too.
Ugh, too many stories.
That's crazy.
Maybe you should make a tether, Muto. Get a
Everybody
phone
makes a
tether.
tether. You can get them on Amazon for like.
Nah, make one with the logo. Make one all like yeah. Make a black one with the logo imprinted on it. That'd be
You
sick.
never
I'd buy it.
see. Yeah, you'd buy it, but nobody else would. You never see it. You can get them on Amazon
Pre-order
for like
it.
$10. Doug Rubin
To
said,
put
"See you
a
guys
put
at
a
PCS show. Let me know
put
if
a
you guys
word.
want
Yeah,
it."
put a word out there at PCS. Visit the booth if you're interested in phone tether, retractable phone tether with the submission logo on it. I bet people would want
Make the tether like a belt, like a black belt,
it.
instead of like the coil. Just do like a short like cloth belt.
Well, I have a retractable one. I have a retractable one. I'll show you. You do that thing, man. It'll be cool. If I don't know
I've
how
seen
many
that
units you have to order, but
with the cable.
yeah, like a retractable cable with
I've
braid
seen
on
it.
it. Yeah, man. Get one with submission on it. That'd be sick. People would
Sammy
buy it.
said he's in.
Yeah. Oh, I know Sammy's good for anything at this
You weren't
point.
here, but we were
He's a
talking
great
last
supporter.
week um, about like bringing different products in outside of like slow pitch jigs, and it's funny we were just talking about like that same thing. Should we make like jig heads and plastics and stuff like that? So it's
What was the
interesting
vote?
conversation for sure, huh?
What
They
was
were
the
dead.
vote?
They wanted other stuff.
Did you show him
So
the prototype?
no, nobody's seen the prototypes. You've
Prototype's
seen them.
fit.
You
Yeah,
fished
I
them.
caught
Yeah,
fish on them. I know what's up
yeah,
with that lure.
yeah.
Send it. Come on. What's the hesitation here?
In due time.
Well,
Once
I
we're in
think that
production,
I think that in good time and in very short time you'll have a lot more things to offer as far as products. I'm sure that you're going to continue growing. Got to do more than slow pitch jigs though, for sure.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's what we were asking. Like, do we branch out? Is there a need for other stuff? And yeah, so I'm down for it. We don't have to just do slow pitch. It's not like we're submission fishing slow pitch. I mean, slow pitching is like my first love, right? I mean, I love slow pitch jigging. I can go on forever about that, but I'm open to some other things for sure. Bro, people are creatures of habit. People will buy it to support the brand they love. Yeah, and that'd be cool. Yeah, that's sort of the thing you wrestle with, right? Because I'm like, well, I'm just a slow pitch brand, and that's what I do. But we don't have to stick with that. That's just my own mindset thinking, pigeonholing myself. But there's no reason why we can't innovate and make other great stuff in other areas. Where there's a need for sure.
Oh
Some
yeah.
high quality stuff.
Yeah, I
Add
think
some
I
good stuff,
think
but no.
I think that definitely the slow pitch jigging is so interesting because you're kind of the early adopter of doing dock pitching for spotties, and you literally made jigs that do it extremely well. The sumo being a fan favorite for going under docks, like it literally goes backwards under docks.
Yeah,
It's very neat that you made a jig that does that, and I think there's a lot of people that try to figure out how to do the same thing, and they basically copied you. And this at the same time, that's a great compliment to what you started. A lot of people want to try to get into that same space, and I think that's fun. Brings a lot of people to the new part of the sport they never had seen before until you were there to help bring it to the forefront.
yeah. The only thing that annoys
Similarly,
me
I
about
think
that
that
is just like you see people getting in that just like it's like they don't even fish, right? Like you don't even know like these people even fish. And it's like they're selling jigs and creating all this stuff, and it's like, are you just looking to make a buck, or are you actually fishing your product? You know what I'm saying?
sure, oh yeah, a lot of industry people are like that.
Yeah,
There's actually quite a lot of people nowadays that are in the industry that never, really were in the community. I think it's different. I think you're talking about two different things. Maybe they fish, but are they really invested in the community? Have they been out there doing things? Have they talked to people? Are they doing events? Are they meeting people face to face? Do they remember them? Do they fish with them? And
right.
there's just so much to just the community than just fishing it. I think that there's a lot more, involved with what we do as a community that extends a brand right now. So I think we talked about that at least once or twice
Yeah,
before.
yeah. We just know it,
So
but no better way to sell a jig than just catching fish. Brian says, "Are you both going to PCS?" Yeah, we'll be there. I'll be in the same booth as last time.
same booth,
Corner.
literally the same spot. Yeah,
Yeah, right in the corner.
great.
Same thing.
Yep.
Top
Setting
Step
up
says,
jigs.
Kevin, how hard is it to get a clothing brand to sell in the fishing industry?
Oh man, incredibly
Good
hard
question.
right now.
Because you rep a clothing
Incredibly
brand,
hard.
right?
No one wants to buy apparel. Um, the reason why it's hard is because there's a huge saturation of brands, and there hasn't been as much demand as the last 2 years. So I think a lot of the people that are the communities and the anglers that are in the industry buying the consumers, the customers, they definitely have to watch what they're spending right now, especially when you go to a grocery store and it's $100 to feed 4 people for like 2 days, 3 days. Like that's a lot of money from a grocery store run, you know? Um, so I think there's a lot to say that the economy has turned people's buying habits into a different direction. Not to say that there wouldn't be, not to say that there's not going to be more people wanting to buy apparel or be part of a brand. I think it's just that people are very focused on a certain kind of uh, apparel brand that they could either buy direct or whatever it may be, and maybe these stores just don't want to buy apparel because apparel is a very large item, and it may not have the dollar value that another thing could fill in that space. And that's really a, you know, space conscious retailers are really thinking about that as they start to go into the next part of the season as spring comes. Like, what are they going to open up their space to? Are they going to keep apparel, or are they going to put a whole, you know, real island that has, you know, $50,000 worth of inventory with anywhere from a 25 to 40% margin? Like, what is really there to make money? And you have to decide that, right? A tackle retailer, what that space is going to be used for. And apparel is at a slight disadvantage right now for sure, because there's just not as much buying power in the customer anymore. It's definitely changed. So we'll see.
Because like the
We'll see.
fishing apparel too, because you're like you said, like the shelf space is always a thing. This is not something that I really thought about till I started selling jigs. But you know, when like the tackle store already has, you go in there and it's like they've got product everywhere. When you bring in a new product, it's like they have to make space or get rid of something to put yours in, and it's like it's
That's
not
a
really
big
something
deal.
you consider. You know, some things sometimes you just think, oh, this place is just going to take my product because it's great, right? But in reality, it's like, can they even take it? Like they're probably going to have to get rid of. You got to convince them to probably get rid of something else in order to make space for your product to go. There's a finite amount of space. Like they can't just keep adding product after product after product, and it's interesting. You know, something you don't think about till you're on the business end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very challenging, man. It's very challenging. People are very conscious about their space right now. And there's never been more inventory from brands than right now. Like, literally, never in the history of the fishing industry has there ever been this much inventory out there for stores to select from. So, um, this is very different than 3 years ago in COVID, when there was no inventory of anything, and you could put anything you wanted in a store if you had inventory and it would sell. Anything,
Right.
pick anything. So now we're kind of going back, and we talked about this before about how small brands are going to see their time right now in the industry, because there is a ton of disconnect from big brands and then the consumer. And the consumer wants to pick something that's a bit more long term now, that they can pivot their money in and put towards a small business or something, that a cause they support, or something that really works right for them as far as angling. And they're going to want to put their money into that. And I do think that's going to be a huge ongoing pivot in purchases that happen throughout the fishing industry. But do I think that those big brands aren't going to, do I think they're going to be oblivious to that? No, I think they know that. That's why the private equity has been buying tons of small businesses. But, you know, in the end, what is going to happen to those businesses? Are they going to be, you know, basically just taken and made into nothing? Are they going to be growing? Are big brands going to start losing their places in these tackle stores? Like, what's going to happen one day if someone goes, I don't want, pick any one of the big three, right? What's going to happen then? Who's going to fill that in? So we're at that time where maybe some of these companies could do it. So we'll see. You
That's
filled a big space. Your company filled a big space, you know? there was a huge void right there for a while where slow pitch jigs were non-existent.
Yeah, well, that was the whole genesis of our company, was because we couldn't find it didn't exist. What we were doing, the jig didn't exist, and then Major Craft was like, we were purposing short casting Major Crafts, using them as like slow pitch jigs, but Major Craft didn't have inventory. I couldn't find them, so I was
Right.
like, I'm just gonna make them. Then that was the whole, yeah, the whole point was, if I can't find them in the stores, nobody has them, and we're having to repurpose them anyways, and just kind of like, we'll just make something that's specific for what we do.
Yep.
Yeah, we were able to kind of step in and fill a void.
It worked out. Still working
Yeah,
out.
we're getting there slowly but surely. Dr. Stalker says, appreciate that, Kevin. Looking forward to talking at PCS. Brian says he's going to work a day with Muto at the show, answering all spotty, slow pitch questions. One of the best spotty baits there is. Looking forward to it, Brian. Yeah, he was there last year. So if you guys, Brian is the most winningest man in spotty boy history by far. So, and we sponsor him. He's one of our pro anglers. So yeah, come by PCS if you want to talk to him. If you guys want tips, pick his brain. And he's Brian's an open book too. I mean, he'll let you. He'll tell you what you need to know. He doesn't really hide anything. LC Ranger says everything is word of mouth and watching others succeed. When I first started slow pitch jigging, I fished the Rencule jigs. I didn't have success, but when I was introduced to submission, I became a fan. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Sweet.
That's awesome,
There
dude.
you go.
Appreciate you guys. Got to go get dinner. All right, man. Thanks for stopping by.
OC
Now that
guy.
you're saying that, I haven't. Doc Sucker said, now that you're saying that, I haven't seen a lot of new releases from the known fishing clothing brands.
It's true.
I feel like the fishing apparel too is like, because now you're trying to push apparel in like a tackle store, right? It's not even like a clothing store. It's almost like
Well,
it's a niche within a niche. It's like, because I've seen it. I know like Dana Landing, right? They've got the Salty Crew and Haggard Pirate, and they've got some of the more smaller brand stuff too, or the hats, and then even PC, Pacific Coast Baits. That was got a small section. Everybody seems to have like a little small section, but it's not much, man. It's a fight for sure to get some
it's
clothing
it
in there.
apparel takes up a lot of space. You have to really have a lot of culture behind a brand. In my opinion, there's only two ways you can go about a brand with apparel. And it really can, it could be mixed in with your, like, if Submission made it, Submission could probably have like limited runs and like put it into a tackle store and like just slide it in and people would probably notice it and then buy it, right? But you would only put like 2 or 3 shirts at a time.
Yeah, yeah,
When your only business is apparel, there's only one of two ways to go, or two ways you can go. You either go performance and utility, or you go culture, something that people follow. There's a reason why, there's a story why they want to go with that apparel. That's only two reasons.
yeah.
Purpose-built performance or a story. If you have one or the other, or even if you have both, which is very hard to get sometimes, you're going to succeed if you go down those paths and you stick to it. But there's so many options nowadays. Like, there is some really creative apparel companies who have gone to the lengths of studying how anglers cast, how much of an inseam they need towards their armpit so they don't like get restricted and the cuff comes up the arm, kind of science, and so there's things that have definitely come out that have changed and modified angling forever as far as apparel. How far can we go down apparel before we just kind of reach a plateau? And I think we're almost there. Like, there are some very creative ideas that have come out. I'd like to see more, but we're getting to that point where we're getting pretty technologically advanced with what we wear.
Yeah, you're talking like the technical aspect. I know,
Yeah,
like,
I
yeah,
think,
it's both. You've got that, and then you've got the casual gear, like
right.
real happy stuff. I fish a lot of their stuff, and they've got like that story brand, right, where they've got like the stacks are like my favorite, where they've got like the calico, the spotty, the sand bass. You know
Andy.
exactly what you're looking at, and they got a freshwater one where it's like the trouts, So yeah, and then you've got the
Yeah,
whole performance gear, which is like a whole nother thing.
right. Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of stories to tell. Everyone's got something to say. They all got a piece of artwork they want to push out there, right? And they want to have people gravitate to that. But their only sale, typically as an apparel brand, is apparel. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Ryan says he buys most of his apparel online.
there you go.
Doc Stalker says same here. Yeah.
Yeah, apparel's very tough. Apparel's pretty tough. I don't think it's. There you go. I don't think that it's not. I don't think the sales are non-existent. I just think that they're very tough compared to what they were like before internet shopping was a really big thing in the fishing industry. I think there was a lot more potential for an apparel brand to succeed. But now that the internet's the thing and people can see designs online, it's very hard to compete with that as a store. Great thing about stores is that you can go check your size and see if it actually fits, and you don't have to return it, right? So you know what's going on with that. And at the same time, you can go and shop for other things that are at a tackle store, and you can find them on hand and in stock if they're hopefully in stock. It's just a not. Fishing stores are coming back pretty strong right now as far as businesses. Probably a lot stronger than even I would say before COVID. There's a lot more in small tackle stores succeeding. Not to put myself on any kind of pedestal, but that's what my business has been focused on. And we have definitely helped support a lot of small business out there in the industry. I mean, it is tremendous what we are doing right now and not doing big business. What are you laughing at?
No, you said you weren't gonna. You said you didn't want to talk about yourself. I said no. Go ahead, please.
Oh yeah. I learned that from your sister.
We have apparel. We have a new piece of apparel coming out for PCS.
Oh,
we do have a new shirt. Huh?
Sneak peek it. Where is it?
I don't know. I was trying to find it. I can't find it in my mail.
So it's available at the show?
Yeah, it will be. Can we confirm that? Are they going to be done and shipped in time?
He said 7 days, and we confirmed it this morning.
We confirmed it this morning. I mean, they should be.
Gotta get to Kevin's house.
So we're shipping them to your house.
Yeah,
we're shipping them to Fallbrook, and then it's up to you to bring them.
Oh, okay. It's up to me. I see.
It's up to you to pick them up, but yeah, they're getting them shipped.
You send me a truck full of stuff, and you realize there's only a Camry over there, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I don't know what we're gonna do here. I can't wait for PCS. It's gonna be a party. So
these guys don't want to see the new design though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a T-shirt. We're counting on you, Kevin. Maybe it may not. Everybody may not like it. I think it's an acquired taste. It's a.
What does that mean? What does that even mean? What's an acquired taste? What is it? What'd you do?
It's the She's gonna send it.
I'm worried now. What'd you guys do? Is it pink?
I showed you the image. It's Jessica's trying to send it to me.
Oh no, that's good. That's not an acquired taste. You're gonna be all right.
I don't want to say acquired taste. What's the word I'm looking for? It's gonna be a certain audience, I should say. It's not for everybody, but it's for a.
I think it's for everyone. They'll like it. It's unique. It's fun. I mean, it's more, if there's anything I could say about that design is that it's more fishing identifiable by other people who don't fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people that look at that, they'll be like, "Oh, you're a fisherman." The design you showed me with the toothy critter, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
No, we're good. You're good, man. That's like I said. If you want to be,
I'm saying it might not be for everybody.
I haven't seen that design anywhere, so I'm excited about it. I think it's something unique out there that people are going to be like, huh?
It's because we had it made. We had an artist made it. Like, it's all original work.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it. I think it's cool. Are you trying to show people?
No.
Are you hyping it? No.
Okay, hold on.
Let's see if I can find it.
So in other news, I guess I'm bi-coastal officially now that I'm inside of a house. I'm in a brand new house that was closed today by none other than your sister Paige.
Yeah, she got a brand new house. That's awesome. Closed
Crazy.
today. Congratulations, Paige, on the new house.
New house. It's got that new house smell.
An old new house.
And,
Yes, because there's no furniture.
so we're gonna be out here for a while. We're gonna be back and forth. I'll be back and forth, probably for a good year, probably more than that into the future.
Florida, California.
Florida, California. My house is still over there in Fallbrook.
All right, you
So
guys ready? You guys ready for the design?
let's see it.
Let me see if I can share it here. Limited quantity, so we're not making too many because Kevin's telling me how hard.
Go. Shush. Go with the bigger screen. Put yourself on the screen. Bigger screen. There you go. There it is. I love it.
Don't tread on anglers, submission fishing. This is just something that's been near and dear to my heart. I love fishing rights and the government stepping all over our fishing waters and our land. So these are limited quantities. There will be at PCS. We got stickers being made too, but we had this one designed. And the front is the Submission Fishing Co. But yeah, they'll be at PCS. We got really limited stuff. So if you guys are into that,
I'm into it.
if you love fishing and you hate people stepping on fishing rights, then this is the shirt for you. So yeah, go get them. We don't have too many made. So if we do, I'm not saying we're only gonna have them at PCS. If they do well and we sell them out, I'll definitely get some more made for the website for sure. But yeah, get them while they're hot. And then we'll have stickers which are yellow, like the more traditional "Don't Tread on Angler" sticker. Like the "Don't Tread on Me" flag sort of thing. I know Cal will like this.
That's sick.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think they're cool. They turned out really well. Kind of exactly what we wanted. So we'll have these at PCS. They'll be for sale. So you guys come get them. If those of you guys are just listening to the audio, it's basically the Gadsden, the snake that "Don't Tread on Me," but it's "Don't Tread on Anglers" with a
Cuda.
Barracuda.
Yeah.
Wahoo-ish.
It's your Cuda.
It's sort of a semi-fictional fish, but I said
it's your Cuda from the other day.
Yeah, the source material was a Barracuda for sure. So
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Sammy says he'll take 3 larges. Corey King says save me a triple X. Hey, I can't save it. You got to come get it.
No saving? Ooh.
Did we get triple X's this time? Got to double check, see if we even got triple X's.
I'm pretty sure we did.
Nice.
Jessica thinks we did.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think we got a few.
That's good.
So if you guys want those, come get them.
Yes, we ordered 3 triple X.
We only have a handful of triple X's, but we do have some. Definitely, Corey. So I'll save you one for sure. It will be for sale at PCS. And then if they sell well, we'll get some more for the website. And we'll get some stickers. Come by and see me. I don't know if I'll sell the stickers. I'll probably hand some out to some of you guys, but we'll sell them as well. Like the same high quality as our other ones, kind of the permanent stuff like that. And then we've got the jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
Los is making fishing jerseys for us with that super fancy printing that he's doing. And they're like heavy duty, really athletic jerseys. So they're made to be like tournament jerseys, fishing jerseys. And he's going to make us a design. So once he gives us the design, we'll have a high quality PDF so you guys can see exactly what the design will be. And then we'll probably do like pre-orders for those because I think those are going to be pretty expensive, those jerseys. So we'll pre-order those and then we'll do a run of the jerseys. Well, jerseys are going to be badass. I've seen some of that guy's work and it's like,
oh yeah,
they're super unique. And what's the process? We talked about this last.
Dye sublimation.
Hey, he knows. What is it? Dyed sublimation?
The dye sublimation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So like he prints like the whole shirt. So basically we get this whole art design like over the entire thing. Sleeves, the middle, and we've given him like our base work and our idea, and then he's gonna have his designers are making it. We'll go back and forth once we get the final thing. Hopefully we'll have the design by PCS and then we'll be able to take pre-orders for that. That's something you guys are into. So
yeah.
Do we get him with the hood?
Yeah, I used to make Hobie jerseys and use him.
Yeah,
you did get him with the hood. Yeah. Nice.
We went back and forth. We were like, We weren't, then we were. They're more with the hood, but yeah, I'm like fishermen need a hood. Yeah, so
That's really
they will
cool.
have a hood. They will
That's
be
really
hooded.
cool. Yeah, Sammy's got to be your first guy you give a jersey to, dude.
Yeah,
Honestly, you got to give Sammy a jersey. Look at the
yeah.
guy. He's
He's pro
literally
staff.
just, he's tattooed submission at this point.
Sammy's pro staff.
Yeah,
He
Sammy's the man. Good for you,
gets
Sammy.
the shirt.
I love it.
Brian said, "Save salty and medium, woman's cut." Nah, dude, small. Captain Dan says XL for me. Yeah, we've got some XL, so we got them, guys. Yeah.
There's a hype right here on this. That's good. A lot of hype. That's good.
Do you guys have hoodies? I don't think we have hoodies. We had like we were doing like kind of like the drop ship hoodies, and I don't know if we were still doing them. Like the shirts and stuff we get made, so they're really high quality. But then I have to order them, and then I get them, and then I sell them from here. The hoodies, I think we had them made from a third party company, and then they would be shipped. Are we still making the hoodies?
They're on demand, yeah. No, not the hoodies, just t-shirts.
Just the t-shirt. Yeah, like we tried to do the hoodies, but like the quality I don't think was like that good. So I was like, I wasn't too impressed with them, and I don't want to sell shit. You know what I'm saying? But also the hoodies are like, it's just a lot of money to bring in.
Again, apparel takes up a lot.
Yeah, like my Jessica just said, apparel takes up a lot of space. So we're gonna order like a ton of hoodies and shirts. We got to be really selective, like with the apparel though, for sure.
When's submission at sea this year?
Submission at sea. I don't know. We were talking about that actually today, and undecided. Figure out time, a boat, and yeah, not really sure, but it's definitely going down.
Malahini for 700-foot rockfish, and then the second day tuna and night. Come on.
A 2-day trip?
Yes, absolutely. Book it. Let's go. Do it on the
Yeah.
horizon. That's
Yeah,
the
the
second
thing
boat.
well, yeah, the thing was it's like I'd be okay with that, but it's so expensive. Like the cost is just like it's crazy. That's the only thing, that's the only barrier for me is like can I fill the spots on the boat? You know what I'm saying? If I've got to charge $1,000 a ticket, it's like
Pre-book the boat. Get a list of
because if
people
I
who want to
can't, you
go.
put a deposit. Like there's only so much you can do if you don't sell it. It's like, you know what I'm saying. I worry about being able to sell enough tickets at that cost. I'm down for it, but I don't know. The shorter ones are like accessible, right? They're not quite as expensive. Everybody can kind of hop on the boat, and it's a thing. Because now you got to think people got to take off like days of work. Like it's an investment, dude. Like that's
Dude, people do it all the time. Let the people speak. If they want a 2-day, take a poll on Instagram. Tell them the cost. Are you interested
Sammy
before
says
you even
we
approach a
will fill
boat?
it.
Huh?
Sammy says we will fill it.
There you go. Let's do
You
it.
guys are down for it. Like I'm down for the 2-day. Like that
2-day,
would be
dude.
awesome. I don't mind
2-day,
doing them.
2-day. The first one,
Rock fishing,
deep
yeah,
dropping for rockfish. The second or the rest of the trip, nothing but tuna.
I should give Bill our coordinates.
No, he's got access to a better place.
Better
We'll
than our
talk
spot?
offline. We'll talk offline. We
Okay.
we can go get a good spot. There's many places to go, but he and the rest of the fleet on 2-day could easily reach a spot that's mental, crazy fishing. We should go do it.
And then tuna the next day?
Tune in the rest of the trip, the night and the next day. Yep.
I'll get some prices. I mean, it's expensive, dude. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I know. I know it's expensive, but you should, if the people are willing, let them come.
Okay.
Let them tell you. Let the people speak.
Okay.
Take a poll on Instagram.
Sammy said payment plan starting now.
Save $100 every month and get ready for August. There you go. You'll be ready.
Yeah, we'll look because we did look into it last year, right? And it was like we almost did it, and then we're like, man, this is too expensive. I got worried. I got cold feet. I'm not gonna be honest with you because like Yeah, we didn't have as much time because remember submission to sea last year happened really quick, and it was
Yeah,
like
it was like
a
2
month.
weeks
It was a
notice.
month turnaround. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a lot going on, and then it was so expensive for the Horizon that I was like, man, if we don't fill tickets, we're gonna have to eat like a huge loss. So we'll see.
We just got to get people way in advance notified. Start a payment. I think a payment plan is actually a really good idea. With what Sammy said, do like, yeah, set up a little payment plan. Put people's
Do it through
build
Shopify.
up their deposit. Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds great.
I think you can. Yeah, Jessica's telling me we could already do it, so it might be doable.
Afterpay or something.
Send the date out sooner than later. At least you'll find out if people want to do it.
Corey King says talks cheap, cash talks, 30 plus years of charter mastering. There you go. Dudes, I'll go for sure. Flights are cheap from here. All right. If I do it, you guys didn't. We'll have a good time.
Bring some Florida people with us too. That'd be hilarious.
Do it through Corey King. Doesn't he charter boats all the
I should talk to Corey. Yeah, he knows. He's chartered a lot of boats. Brian says submission week in Mexico, almost the same price. Yeah, that'd be
That's
fun.
not a bad one though. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad idea.
Now we're just pushing the goalpost bass. We went from 2 days to a week in Mexico. Come on, guys. Pump the brakes here. These guys got families. I have a family now. I used to not have a child. Now I
Yep.
do. All right, guys. I'll let you go. We're running late. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate all you guys. Super cool hanging with you again. Thank you all for showing up. Yeah, a couple more weeks. I guess we'll have a show next week, and then we'll be at PCS. I'm flying out a week after next, so there will be no show. I'll probably do some recordings. If you guys want to stop by the booth, I definitely want to get like some testimonials and stuff like that, and just interview some of you guys and put you on Instagram and all that stuff. And so if you want to come by and buy one of the new shirts, get some jigs at Tackle Express and get them rigged up, it should be good. If you guys have any other questions, obviously let me know. And it's coming up quick. We'll see you guys there, and we'll look into the submission at sea and see what we can do. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Really appreciate y'all. Till next time. El Charlie, I see you. Oos. Later.
Oos. See ya.